your people.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, and like when it's like, oh, I buy Playboy for the articles. No, they're probably not lying. I mean, they're buying it because it has naked women in it. But there's so much in a Playboy magazine that isn't sex. Whereas like, I feel like that's what Hustler was. Uh, I forgot the guy's name, but the guy who ran Hustler, he was like, I'm trying to see some ass. I'm trying to see some booty holes and stuff. Um, I'ma scold ya. I done told ya. Don't make me touch your butt.
I'm not making you do anything. That's kind of your choice at this point.
Oh, I told you that because I was trying to tell you that I bought a USB extension because I bought a USB disk drive to sync to rip CDs directly to this laptop.
Yeah.
And I decided while I was doing that the other day, I would check to see if these burned DVDs really worked, if any of them worked, and they do. There are like 13. Like I have them next to me, like and they're in paper sleeves. There's like 13 of them, and I was just curious as to like, well, what do I do with these? Because like, I wouldn't mind watching some of this. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's really vanilla. Like none of it's like spectacularly, you know, none of it's doing anything.
Yeah,
But
because that's the thing is like that stuff is for normal people. We're not normal people anymore.
nah, because my dad was like a regular guy for the most part. He just liked regular fucking.
Yeah.
At least that's what he liked to watch. Whereas I have, whew, I'm real close to being a deviant.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like to brag or like, huh, I'm proud of it. No, I'm just aware of who I am and what I am. Like, I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that like I have certain kinks and I know where most of them stem from. Like, a lot of them come from like things I experienced as a kid. But like, when you're weird, I think, like, and again, I think I said this like in one of the episodes last time we recorded. I don't consider myself weird. But I know that that a quote unquote normal person would consider me weird because I'm slightly, what the fuck? A normal person might consider
I
me
guess
weird.
technically, like that would make us deviants because we are deviated from
Yeah.
the norm.
Oh yes, we would have to be recalled if this was. You got it already. I didn't have to explain.
Yeah.
Um.
Life is the norm.
Man, I keep just trying to tell you, I thought I bought a 3-foot cable, USB extension. They sent me a 10-foot USB extension.
Not that anyone ever needs that, but
You should not need 10 feet of USB extension. Because if
like
you're
at that point,
like if you're
like unless
unplugging
you
and
just
plugging it
live an
in,
entire
that
yeah.
because like if it's attached to the back of your TV and you watch TV like watch movies via like a flash drive, just buy a bigger flash drive. Like buy like a 50 gigabyte like one of them flat joints, a passport. Because goddamn. So sometime between now and next week, well tomorrow and next week, I'll probably like rip as much of those DVD as many of those DVDs as I can to my hard drive and then peruse them at my my leisure. All right, time to start the episode. All right, so all of that will probably be going into like the cut content because why would it? All right, so here's what's gonna happen. Mark should remember what's gonna happen, but don't be surprised if he doesn't fucking know.
Mm.
So, I almost recorded the other day without you because I needed to like check something because the TV was, it wasn't the Elgato. Like I need to remember that it wasn't the Elgato. The PlayStation was giving my TV problems, and I didn't know how, like, I didn't know what to do. So just to double check, I was gonna play this, record an episode of this, not episode 90 out, and then go ahead and just move on with my life. And then when I loaded it up, I realized, one, I don't know where I'm going. Two, once I realized what needed to happen, I was like, fuck, I can't record because I have to wait for him because I don't want to do this by myself, which is a feeling I don't enjoy. So we're gonna do, the way these episodes are gonna work, we're gonna do them area by area, probably, because I don't know how short these episodes are gonna be once I edit them down. That's gonna be the issue. We're gonna get every single star piece in the game, and then we'll move on. And then God of War 2 shouldn't take much longer, because I think we're pretty close. I think we're beyond the midpoint, but either way. Okay, you ready? So, people saying that Kamala Harris slept her way to the top have absolutely no way of proving that she did that. If you were to ask her, they would simply say, well, that doesn't count. She's going to lie. All right, well, let's ask the men. None of the men that she's ever worked with are willing to say that she slept her way to the top. Well, that's different because they are just embarrassed that they slept with her and they don't want to get in trouble. Okay, then. Well, for some of the men, Judge Joe Fuck My Ass Brown, who says that this is true, we asked him, could he name any names? He wasn't willing to name any names. Well, that's just because he doesn't want to get in any trouble. What trouble could he get in for, like, telling the truth? For letting the world know that the leaders that they've elected are willing to trade sexual favors for positions. We should know that, shouldn't we? So isn't it bad that he's not willing to tell the truth? Like, if that's
Like, if
what...
you're not willing to take your statements and prove them in a court of law, then you shouldn't be saying them.
Unless it's like, I got a big dick. I'm not going to show you my PP. No, go away. I'm tired. Why did I say that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry I said that. But like, his like is like, well, she hasn't done enough for America as vice president. Hey, Mark, do you know what the vice president's job is? Like, actually, this last time I talked to you.
Just do what she's told.
Bingo. But even with that, and with that being said, her job is to break Senate ties in the Senate, and she's done that more so than any other vice president in the history of the United States. The Senate has tied itself, and it's not like it's a thing she chose to do. The Senate in this past presidential, I forget what the term is because my brain is foggy. In this last past presidential term, I forgot what the term is, and the word was term. Good Lord. The Senate tied itself, mostly because of the way Trump had it stacked, tied itself so much that she was put in a position to be record-breaking, to be historic. Magnificent. So simply put, I'm not gonna dwell on this too long. If you are watching this video and you have an opinion when it comes to politics, if you are first off, if you're right wing, you're probably not listening to me. But if you are willing to vote for Trump and he loses and Kamala takes the dub, she becomes our first not only woman president, but our first woman of color president. If your life happens to start to get better, if her plans start going into action, mind you, it's not going to be immediate. That's never been the case. When a president gets into office, the plans they have take years for us to see them come to fruition. It does not happen overnight. But if your life did get better during and after her presidency, would you be willing to admit that she did good by you as a president of the United States, as a lower and middle class citizen in the United States of America? Would you be willing to admit that this woman that you disrespected and said was not fit for the job and only got where she was because she had a vagina? Would you be willing to say, I was wrong? I'm glad she won? Because that's the only question I have. Because if the answer is no, I have an opinion on you. And if the answer is yes, I have a separate opinion on you. I'm not going to tell you what they are. It might influence your opinion. It might influence your answer. But that's where I'm at with this. We have the opportunity. You have the. Don't vote don't vote for parties. Never do that. Stupid idea. Parties are dumb. Vote for policies. Vote for yourself. Vote for the future of you, your family, your friends, and your children. Vote for a better tomorrow. Do not vote for someone simply because, well, I'm a Republican and I gotta. Well, I'm a Democrat and I gotta. No. If one guy says, I'm gonna do this, and the other person says, well, I think this is the way to do that, go with the one you agree with. But be sure you're not going with the one that's built on hatred, because everyone's going to find out who you are. And I think if you're over the age of 55, yeah, your kids are probably going to stop talking to you. Let's play some Mario. Come back in the next one. Hopefully you'll enjoy that one as much as you enjoyed this politically charged episode. Mind you, and I've said this like these episodes are like recorded weeks apart, but like I've said like in like last week's episodes, like in the 80s, that at 35 years old, this is the most I've ever had to be concerned about the politics of the world I live in. Because one of the men who was one of the people running for president is determined to destroy the country. Not intentionally, but he refuses to accept that his ideas aren't good. He's never run a good business, and the people that are supporting him are only supporting him because they hate. They hate. That's it. They are filled with anger and hate, and they don't know what else to do with their lives. And like when it comes down to it, like as a black guy, like it's scary. You know, like I live in a poor part of Missouri as is, and we struggle with like getting the services and things we need. And this dude is really just going to try to make that way harder for us. Kamala and Tim Walz have openly stated that like their goal is to make life better for the people that live in this country. It should not. It should and I can't stress this enough. The people who support Trump, if they would take the time to read and get the facts like they say you're supposed to, because that's one thing they'll swear. Well, you got to read for yourself. Don't let these people tell you what's going on. Look up the stuff Donald Trump is saying. And I don't mean go look up what he said. If he says, I'm going to do this and this will cause this to happen, search those terms. His whole thing about tariffs, yeah. So when you raise a tariff, guess what that means? Tariffs are not taxes on goods coming into a country. Did you know that, Mark?
No, I didn't.
Tariffs are the cost. Tariffs are like fuck. If I was gonna send you something, it cost me money to send it to you.
Yeah.
That's what a tariff is. If you're
So
gonna
basically shipping.
yeah. So if you're exporting your goods to another country for one reason or another, you're paying them to accept your goods.
Mm.
That's what a tariff is. So if Donald Trump wants to raise the cost of tariffs, who do you think that affects? It doesn't affect the Chinese companies. It affects us because we're having to pay more. Our country, manufacturers in America are paying more to send goods out to other countries to get them like finalized or whatever. And if it costs them more money to produce a product, what do you think that means, Mark?
Uh, well, I mean, the money has to go somewhere.
It does. So where the manufacturers of these products going to recoup their costs?
sure the ones at the top. So,
No, it's gonna be you. You're gonna have to
mhm.
charge. They're gonna charge you more. The fuck was that? Oh, that window's open. That door is open. I saw a green light, and I was very concerned. As I am the only one in this house, there should be nothing else happening other than what's happening in this room. Uh, like I care about my people. I care about my family and my friends. I have a nephew in the military. I have friends and family who are like injured and like disabled, and that man wants to run through. He wants to stop taxes on Social Security and stuff like that, but he doesn't understand how any of it works. All he knows is that if you say words like taxes and immigrants, people cheer. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care about doing what's right or knowing what's right. He just wants people to like him. He could have stayed on social media for that. He could have stayed on social media and just talk shit for the rest of his days. And these same people would have fucking like just they'd have been hating motherfuckers, but they would have gave him the affection he wanted, and he would have been able to move on. But he'd have stayed out of politics. But just know look up the stuff he's saying. And if you don't really know where to start, TikTok, oddly enough, has a lot of political content. Mostly because it's a lot of they know people are watching TikTok and they're putting content on TikTok. By all means, follow me, Dizz2K7 on TikTok. I think it's actually Dizz2K7 Gaming. I don't know what my TikTok handle is. But I repost a lot of political stuff. I do right now because that's what's important to me right now. That's what my TikTok is for the most part. And a lot of it, there's a lot of educational stuff. But again, if you're hearing this and you don't know who to vote for, then yeah, by all means, don't not vote. Please don't not vote. But honestly, most people already know who they're voting for, and most people aren't changing their minds. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get out of here. Dick Cheney is voting for Kamala Harris. When Satan has decided to back the good guy, vote for the good guy. Get out.